Emotion Based Podcast.
I'm AJ.
I'm Diesel.
And today's episode is going to be about social media and its influence on the culture. So, you want to start this off? How you want to kick it off?
Did you want to do the moment of silence?
Yes. Okay. So, at the time of this recording, this is the second day since the real footage came out from the death of Tyree Nichols. He was brutally beaten by Memphis, Tennessee police, 5 officers, and he passed on January 10th. So we wanted to do a moment of silence to show our solidarity for him, his loved ones, and the culture in itself. There are a lot of people who have been affected by this in any kind of police brutality. So, moment of silence. Thank you.
All right. So, social media and its influences. Obviously, with the situation that's happened with the police brutality, not to make this whole thing about that.
Yeah.
Footage is able to be captured and shared with the masses, and it all affects us in some way or some form. And I've seen some videos where it's made me uncomfortable and it shook me to my core to this day. I haven't had the chance to see the footage, and I don't think I necessarily want to. But having that information out, and now we get to take action on it. Mm-hmm. Whether sit-ins, protesting, whatever may need to happen to get justice for him. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I've heard, it was all black officers.
Yep. All 5 of them.
So I digress on that.
Another episode
because I feel like I was going to take that somewhere else. But that footage being able to be linked there and for us to share immediately and take action, I think that's very effective for us. Mm. One of the things that used to happen back in the day is there was 6 degrees of separation. It took 6 people to know everybody in the world.
Yeah.
Now it's 6 seconds of being satisfied and being educated, being in contact with somebody. Mm-hmm. We're able to be entertained, sad, educated in a hyper speed nowadays. And someone asked me, like, what era would you like to grow up in? And everybody was picking, like, 1940s, Prohibition, and this and that. And I was like, make me a 13-year-old kid right now with the internet and knowing the ability that it has. Mm. Right now in this era, I'll take over the world. Mm. So I think it's a great help, but there is no filter on it. Mm-hmm. So that comes with, seeing whatever you want to see, but also if you have little ones with kids, they can see whatever they want to see or hear at school, and they Google and bam, it's there in the palm of their hand. Mm-hmm. I've been having an issue with that myself with teenagers and kids and. What to say, what can be on the internet, what cannot be on the internet, how you approach things, how I approach things. They got social media now, and they follow me, and they're like, oh, shit, you talking about that? Why? And it's a whole concept of, I'm grown.
You're an adult, yeah.
So, it's like, but it comes down my feed, don't block me. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't block me.
I'm single, I'm out here, chicks holler at me through TikTok. I'm like, my bad.
Yeah.
But it can be fun, it can be entertaining, it can be educational. It can be a great tool for networking.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
So I think social media is a behemoth of an entity. It is I like to call it a separate universe. Because truly, it's a whole other world. Like, you can step out of this world and be so engulfed in social media. You can create a whole new persona, and you could be someone that you aren't in this physical realm. And so much so that they're creating the metaverse around it and that whole ordeal because people are so engulfed in social media and the internet. So I feel like there's good and bad with everything, universal law and polarities. So you got the bad and you got the good. And it's a constant struggle to see which one outweighs the other one. But to bring up this Tyre Nichols situation, talk about the bad. I have been traumatized several times from the internet, and not because I'm seeking the trauma. It's because it's just popping up on my feed. One thing that I will say, because I'm not too big of a fan of the content filtering and all of that, but these trigger warnings, I am very, I'm for that. Because I've been specifically down Twitter. They still don't do trigger warnings for the most part. But Twitter is the wild, wild west of the internet. For those of y'all who do not indulge, Twitter is my favorite social media site, but it can get really ugly because everything is unfiltered. So I could be scrolling down. I've seen Lil Reese get shot in the head and he rolling in the back, eyes rolling in the back of his head, fighting to stay alive. I've seen Takeoff, R.I.P. Takeoff, get shot. I've seen PNB Rock. I've seen people get decapitated. I've seen all types of crazy stuff. People get beat to death, jumped, all this stuff. And I've accumulated a lot of trauma, and I'm an empath, so I feel this shit heavily, and I don't like it. So today, when I was looking at Twitter, because I do want to read the story. I can read it and I can feel enough. So I informed myself, but anytime I saw any kind of media, I would have to take my hand and block it as I'm scrolling, because I don't want to accidentally see the video. Mm-hmm. And so that was out of the way. But I got what I needed, got up out of there. And I don't want to see stuff like that because it's so traumatizing and it takes me so long to purge that out of my system and heal. I already feel the climate of the world, like, of America specifically. I can feel it in my body, in my essence. So it already weighs heavily upon me, but actually witnessing that, I don't need that. And I think the internet has desensitized people to blood and gore and all this stuff, and it's made people forget that these are real people and real lives. It seems like it doesn't matter until it's somebody they love.
The internet is the Walmart of everything we've been experiencing throughout life. It's Amazon. It's like I said, Walmart. You go in there and get everything you want, and they got food, clothes, shoes, guns, whatever. Mm-hmm. All this stuff you can go out and see in the regular. You can see it on the news. Mm-hmm. At one point in time, the news used to be unfiltered. Now it's like PG, and they know, it's too graphic to be shown. They showed Rodney King get beat the fuck up, mm-hmm. blood splatter. They showed JFK getting shot back into the left. Mm-hmm. All of that. I would just say this is a funnel of all the information that you can get at once. And yes, algorithm has come in, because algorithm was never really a thing for us growing up. You know, mm-hmm. we had to go to it. That thing wasn't tailored for us to watch. Mm-hmm. So obviously you watch, listen to or see political views and mm-hmm. rights and all that type of stuff. And that type of stuff come down your feed. Mm-hmm. And then other stuff people may like, your friends may post some stuff and throw your shit off a little bit. But I don't want to sound like those old white women at video games made my son shoot up the school and shit. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the internet and all that. Yeah, it's desensitizing, it's real, but who are you to say somebody can't do it, not do it, tell them to stop, slow it down? Because it goes to the thing, like, you don't like it, don't use it. Mm-hmm. Twitter, you're like, oh, Twitter's all this. He's above that shit.
Yeah.
Send me the articles I like or whatever, or find a different avenue of getting that type of information that you like. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say there's one video. There's a guy. These people from Detroit, and there's a girl in the passenger seat. There's a guy in the front seat, and a guy in the back. There's a gun in the center console, on the center console, and she grabs like, ooh, and she cocks it back, and he's like, hey, don't grab it like that, and she's like, boy, stop, go like that, and blows his shit, and he leans over and shit, bleeds out like the motherfucking Kool-Aid man. I'm like, I'm like, like for anybody pop up video, no. Like I said, I know what it feels like to have to person everybody because it feels somebody to be so either stupid, naive, or it could have been them intentionally doing it and watching this man life leave from he's alive, thank God, but it took a long time. Yeah, he got half his fucking noodles blown in the back. I'm sorry if I sound. I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah, no.
But got his shit knocked back, and he's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then there's other people, like decapitated. I've seen him. Dude cut a whole woman head off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa!
Mm-hmm.
But there were movies back in the day that you go to Blockbuster, Family Video, and it was called Faces of Death. Mm-hmm. My daddy and uncle used to watch this shit. Like people eating monkey brains, people getting shot, ran over. It was like craziest deaths. It was a bunch. It was a whole series of these, and they used to go to the place and buy these movies or rent these movies. And I walked past. My dad didn't think two shits of me being desensitized or fucked up about seeing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing stuff out there like that awakens me.
Mm-hmm.
It made me aware. So one thing is like, does make you aware for certain shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't know the story of that young man that got killed beyond seeing that video.
In the context of other people.
In the context of other people, we don't know what transpired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he deserved any of that, but us initially looking at one thing and then running off without a whole story can be detrimental too, because the internet, they can edit and chop video up and then I'm not giving up the whole raw footage and make us see one side of the story. Back in 2020, when Black Lives Matter was at its peak, George Floyd and everything was going on, and it was protests everywhere. They were planting bricks downtown, bats. There were people trying to spray paint things. This was happening all across everywhere, but we knew in the city of Detroit, like, we've already burned our shit down. Our grandparents burned our shit down. We know we're not going to do this again.
Yeah.
Like, our police ain't like that. We're protesting for a different reason. But the group that was having that, they do some good work, but it's a lot of young people. And I think they run off really too quick. There was a young man shot by police, like in that fall of that 2020, and they immediately hit the streets, start protesting, storming the thing. Oh, police slain young 16-year-old unarmed male. Police walked up to these two young men. They grabbed one, asked them to, start searching him, got him on the ground, cuffed him. They didn't even bother with the other kid. He was, go home, we got him. He pulled his gun out of shit and started shooting at the cop. The cop, oh shit, he's shooting, and had to take him down. It was that, oh shit.
Yeah.
And took him out. The thing is, Detroit was able to produce that video within 2 hours. Within 2 hours, that video was out, raw footage, everything. It was like, and it made, for a small thing, because it was a silver lining in that, made that group look like fools. Like, just out here protesting for no fucking reason. No, we didn't. You produced that video that fast. We want this list of these 20 other people that fucking fast in the next 2 hours. We want the raw footage that you, all the footage you got, because you said you can't get it that fast. And he, got you, dumbass.
That's the president's right there.
But people took that one spot. Oh, they were wrong. Ha ha, laughing, left the room. But there were others standing there letting the smoke settle to see what comes from it. Okay, we were wrong on that one. But you just showed us you can give us that footage that fucking quick. I don't know if that's why Craig retired and went somewhere else.
He was running for political
Yeah.
figure. So, with that being said, yeah, I'm drinking, y'all. I like to drink, as y'all have probably seen all these episodes. So, no judge. Don't judge me. So, one thing I wanted to get on. So, we talked about some of the negatives, and there are more, and I will, continue to bring them up. But I do want to talk about some of the positives because, like I said, negative and positive. So, some of the positive regards of social media effects, I would say the ability to find your tribe, way easier.
Yeah.
Way easier. I can go and I can find people who relate to me more and resonate with me more instead of going to all these awkward events and trying to make friends at concerts. Like, oh, you like Blue? I like Blue too. Let's be friends. Yeah, no, none of that. I could go on any of these social media websites, find something that I like, comment on it, somebody else comments on it. Oh yeah, we cool. Blah, blah, blah. I can go on Clubhouse right now, join a room, and be like, oh yeah, this is my tribe right here, and I'll be good to go. So I do like that aspect, the community aspect of it. And on Twitter, Twitter is so coveted in my heart. But like versus battles and award shows and any kind of live event, we be on Twitter live and direct. It's like a family reunion in there. Black Twitter be popping the fuck off, and I am very much actively involved in it. And
I was introduced to Black Twitter in 2020. I was like, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah. I'm not a Twitter person.
Okay,
I made
that
a
makes
Twitter.
sense.
I think I made a Twitter back in like 2012.
Okay.
I've sparingly go on there.
Oh,
Like
man.
when big celebrities use it or certain events use it, then I'll go on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to navigate it like that.
Man, and as you guys, as we all know, when you look on Instagram, it's a bunch of tweets. Like, you've got a whole reel of tweets and all that stuff.
The breakdown of cheat codes.
Twitter is the foundation right here of the internet and of social media, rather, because you get the raw, uncut, unfiltered, right in the moment type of comments. And I love it because it's like that community aspect. We get to talk our shit. Listen, Black people, we are unmatched in comedy. We are unmatched.
I don't know. Did you see when the Queen of England died? Ireland was tripping.
Listen.
Was tripping.
I did not see a lot of their jobs. I saw a few.
These motherfuckers was at their football. No, I'm not gonna put it in quotation. Football game, soccer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the arena, the whole arena, they found out the Queen was dead. It's announced Queen Elizabeth was dead. These motherfuckers started singing, "Hey, Lizzie's dead, Lizzie's dead."
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, they memes is right there with the whole like black. Oh my God, Ireland was tripping. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Then they start competing with each other. That's when I start looking at Twitter like, oh shit, this is more like this is just dope. But it was funny. A lot of the stuff does come from this funny, like when you invite your man to girls' night. Did you see that one? It said if you invite your man to girls' night, are we fucking? And then it was a whole thread of that.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing, because you never know what to expect on Twitter. Like, and you got the most random motherfuckers just coming in, like 1, 2, 3, and it's hilarious. Threads get more funny as you read down them comments, because they just, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, but if the internet was a real place, Dave Chappelle did a skit about that years ago, going into the internet, walking around. That Black Twitter, the way when you do a joke in a room, and then you and your friend keep adding to the joke, and just keep going, and y'all just can't stop fucking laughing. That's what I got from Twitter. Like, that constant add-on. That was the fun. That was the hilarious part. The internet opened us up when we were all captured in our homes and couldn't go nowhere. That's how we reached out to people, met new people, found out new hobbies that we was going to do, learn new stuff. So it's a great tool.
Yeah.
Just like a gun can protect you, can kill people too.
Yeah. And that's the positive. And now I'm about to jump back to the negative. I'm trying to balance this out, y'all, because I don't want to be like, I hate the internet, yada yada. No, I utilize it every single day, every single day. Not one day goes by. And okay, so now that I'm saying this, I need to, yeah, one negative that just popped in my head. My daughter. So I have a 5-year-old daughter. We were watching YouTube videos. We like to watch like riddles and quizzes and stuff, and then Would You Rather is now a thing for us. Mm-hmm. So we watch Would You Rather videos. They asked, would you rather lose the internet or lose a limb? My daughter immediately said, I would lose a limb. I said, pause the video. You're 5. Do you know what losing a limb is? And she's like, no. And I'm like, you're losing a part of your body. So say an arm or a leg. You know, I'm explaining it. And she's like, I still rather lose the limb. I'm like, what? Oh no, I gotta reel you back. You caught up in the Matrix. Like, you too young for this. No, absolutely not. Like,
is it gonna hurt?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Does that be a limb? Can it be an appendage?
Man, listen. I'm like, and she did not give a fuck. And I'm like, are you sure? She's, yeah. I'm like,
cold melon on her. What the fuck?
Like, I'm like, yo, I cannot. So now I'm trying to think of more ways we could get outside and have fun, even though it's wintertime here in Michigan. It's cold as fuck, and it's not my favorite thing to do. But I'm gonna try to get her more out of the internet world and more into the real world, because I feel like a lot of us rely too much on the internet and we don't get out enough, and we are so holed up. It on the good side, you know, it's great for communication and finding a tribe, but on the bad side, we're back to, I can't speak to you when we're in person, but I'll text you or message you real quick. Like, it's like, where's the human aspect of that? I know people who have lost charisma or their personability in person, but they're the funniest person in the world on the internet. And it's like, I had somebody say, oh, you're in the same grocery store as me. I'm like, where you at? They're like, oh, I walked off. You weren't going to say hi? I am saying hi. I didn't know how to say hi to you. Like, I didn't know how to approach you. And I'm like, you could have said, hey, Andrea. Like,
how old were they?
This was like 4 years ago.
How old were they?
They're my age.
Did they have internet before us? That's a thing. That is a fucking thing. Because when did you have internet? Like 12, 11? Some people had this shit at 6.
Damn, when did we have internet?
And we didn't have Google's internet. There's a difference.
Yeah, no. AOL, we had AOL. We had the AOL free trial CDs and all that shit like that, and the Gateway computer and all that stuff. I was on the internet young, though. Like, probably about 9.
So some people
8 or 9, because Y2K happened and I had my computer then. So yeah,
okay.
I was on the internet.
Some people had that shit all their life.
Yeah.
Like, they mama was paying $150 for internet a month and shit.
Yeah.
But like the internet today ain't the internet we used to have.
Yeah, no,
it's
not at all.
So fucking controlled.
Yeah, because they found a way to monetize through data and everything, and now they want to turn it into a data funnel, and they want to curate things and control things, and by that curation and algorithms and all that stuff, you really get a skewed vision of what the world really is. And that was one of my future negative points, but I'll say it now. But it turns people into like the skewed version of themselves, and you can either be fear-mongered into thinking the world is some type of way, or you could be completely oblivious to stuff, and you know, ignorance could be bliss and all that stuff. So it's whatever they feed you, but you have to make sure that you do something outside of your normal realm to like throw it off a little bit, because otherwise you're just going to be stuck in this little funnel. I remember getting on Facebook and seeing my friends. I remember getting on Instagram and seeing my friends. Like, I followed you for a reason, because I want to see your updates. Now it's like suggested followers and Explorer and all that stuff, and they had them in different tabs, but now you seeing just a bunch of everything. And it's like, I came on here for my friends, though. Like, I didn't really give a fuck about all this other shit.
I think my Facebook and internet didn't start expanding until like 2017.
Okay.
Like beyond friends, like my numbers was like real low, like 300-400 people,
Okay.
maybe less.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started adding more and more people, and just adding people to add people. I met this person at a damn list, or hey, what's this? And I've added them, and I ain't spoken to them in 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm seeing more of they posts, and I'm not seeing my nephew shit.
Mm.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was one of the good aspects of it too. You can keep up with people that you haven't seen or talked to in years.
Yeah.
I love that because I have family spread all across the country, and I'm not always the one to pick up the phone and call and, hey, how you doing? Some people are long-winded. I don't want to be talking to them all day because I know if I call, that's 3-4 hours of my time took out.
I think that's why I like text.
Yeah, that text is amazing. That is my preferred method of communication always. But it's a meme, and I highly resonated with it. It's like, if you want to call me, make it a text. If it's not textable, make it a text. Or don't contact me. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I would prefer that.
But for long-winded people, that's what I was saying. Like, all right, just text me. Because I was like, re-answer. Like, all right, I'll come back to this in a minute. Shit, you do it sometime. You're like, yeah, this is the next episode. It's going to be my God.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get back to you. Like,
I'm a reader, y'all. I will.
It's a fucking first.
I will write a whole book to somebody and be like, all right, yep, there you go. And I expect a response. And don't just respond to one portion of what I said, because I am going to get irked like a mother. Oh my God, that is one of my pet peeves.
We're like, have I done that?
I don't think you have.
Okay.
However, people would I write a whole fucking paragraph, and it'd be like one question in there that's a yes or no, and they'd be like, yeah, to that part. And then I'm sitting there waiting like, okay, so where's the rest? Where's the rest? 30 minutes later, I gotta be like, where's the rest? They're like, oh yeah, to that part. And I'm like, no, reread and answer the 5 questions I've asked you. Like, so then I had to learn, I have to break things down in digestible pieces for certain people.
Yeah.
Because I'm a reader. So if you ask me 10 questions in a thing, I may forget one, sure. But I'm going to answer all of them like, okay, bullet points. Let's get it. Yeah. And that's one of the caveats that I was going to say about social media as well, because our attention spans are smaller. They are way shorter than it used to be, because I'm from the era of long form media.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we all are basically in this age range. So I'm still used to long form media. I haven't acclimated to this short form shit. Mm-hmm. So all these reels and Vines, I was never on Vine. Mm-hmm. And so like the reels and all that stuff, the TikToks, I'm just now starting to get the hang of TikTok for real. And that's only because they started adding 3-minute videos. And I was like, oh yeah, now we talking. Like, because how am I going to get my point across in 60 seconds? Like, I'm not. So I don't like stuff like that. And I'm used to YouTube and all that stuff. Everything that I watch, I don't watch TV. I really don't watch movies like that. So I watch interviews and documentaries and stuff like that. And they're all long form. So I'm used to long form media, and giving that to people, I frequently overwhelm them. And they're like, you got to break it down and yada yada. I'm not reading all that shit and all that stuff. And it's like, I can't stand y'all. Like,
but that's what I was saying earlier. Like 6 seconds of satisfaction. If you can't satisfy me in 6 seconds, shut the fuck up and move on.
This instant gratification age is not for me.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, being satisfied that the quick, we've been programmed to do it, though. If you look at it, TV dinners, that shit used to be like a one-off thing. Mm-hmm. Now I know people that got a whole refrigerator full of just
what I would say.
Fast food.
What I would say, and this applies to the examples you just utilized and social media. And I just made this a status the other day. When you give up convenience, you relinquish power. So know that. And that's in all circumstances as far as America and capitalism.
It's power control.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you relinquish your power to whatever extent you get convenience. It's a trade-off, even exchange. So you have to be aware of that.
So, like, if you're thinking about it, like, all right, yeah, convenience, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go out, you go to a concert, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you went down to your local watering hole, your bar, your wine gonna be about $9, $12.
Mm-hmm.
You go there, it's 23
Mm-hmm.
full glass. You at the stadium watching a sports event, that hot and ready costs 25.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're not gonna leave because not gonna let you fuck back in.
Exactly.
So it's convenience.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the quality; it's about the convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in a world where we're always on go, I think we're just starting now to slow down. And that goes into like people starting their own businesses, people tapping into other avenues of making money, not doing the same rat race, detaching from the matrix, utilizing it they have to, but we're starting to slow down, but we need things to come fast because we're always on the move. Because even when you detach, you still got to be just as fast when you got your own business to keep up with everybody else.
I find that debatable.
You think so?
So there's a demographic for everybody. And I feel like there's a demographic of people like myself who prefer like the long form, who prefer the slower rate, who prefer all of the because we know there's a larger payoff instead of instant gratification. So those are the people that I'm going to be finding and marketing to who are going to sustain my business as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
More so. That was the debatable part for me.
So do you cater only to that type of people?
No, not only.
Because, say, for instance, you do a web seminar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also break it down in like little bullet points where they can just tap and go to that portion because it's all they want to hear.
Yeah. That's like pinging YouTube videos. I'll have a long form YouTube videos and I'll put the points where you can ping it and go straight to that.
And that's all you watch and get the fuck on.
Yeah. So yeah, I break things down. Or give the option to be broken down.
So are you requesting the world to be like, hey, don't forget about us long form media people?
No, I don't think anybody should stop for me. But I'm saying everybody should be authentic for themselves. And if long form media, don't let social media bully you into being something that you're not. Because that's one thing as an entrepreneur, we get told, oh my God, this is a pet peeve. We get told you have to do this to be successful. You have to do this, that, and the third. You got to post on social media every day. You got to be consistent. You got to do this at least 5 days out the week. You got to make reels. You got to make TikToks. You got to do this. YouTube shorts. You got to do this, that, and the third. Yada, yada, yada. You got to do a new outfit. You got to keep this color coordination. You got to have a monochromatic house. You, all this stuff. Curation of colors. Curation of everything. So fast paced. So fake.
That's their thing. Like, there's certain people I follow that I didn't even know they were musicians because they weren't doing musician shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing skits and comedies and doing like, but I'm a singer too. Like now your singing or your rapping don't seem as authentic because you're not doing shit that's based around it.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just stay authentic, and the internet has a way of swaying people to do things that are not usually within their realm. Like, I know a lot of people who are not dancers, but they dance it on TikTok because it gets them views. Mm-hmm. And they hope that that person would keep scrolling and looking at their videos. Okay. And that's another thing. Oh,
I have not done a dance video on TikTok yet.
Shaka Bars. I don't know if you heard of him. That's his Instagram handle. His name is Shaka. But he does a lot of things for Black people in Africa, Black people as a whole, and then Africa as well. Blacks in Africa. So he's starting up schools in Congo and all of this stuff. Anytime he posts anything that has to do with like wars or awareness or helping people of our lineage, it gets shadow banned. Anytime he posts some bullshit, viral immediately. And they just pumping it up. And it's like, because I had to seek him And I had to type his full name in Instagram. You know, when you start typing somebody's name, if you follow him, it's going to pop up like 3 or 4. Like, no, I had to type out his full ass name in order for it to pop up. And my internet was not running slow. So I'm like, what the fuck? And he keeps saying like they shadow banning me. Like they're really trying to stop. And that's the thing. Like we are subject to these companies and what they want to do with the algorithm and the AI and all that stuff like that. And it's like, if you're going to do that, be authentic. Make sure you have, we're going to have a whole episode on the entrepreneurial journey. So, but make sure you have your own platform to speak on. Don't just rely on
these social media
YouTube,
platforms.
TikTok, and all the other big companies. Because they'll take you off and then you lose everything.
Yeah. Some of the big YouTubers and shit that I used to follow back in the day, like they had to give up their big ass house, they ended up acquiring, getting money like that and all that. So like they didn't invest properly into themselves to keep things going. They only focused on what social media was giving them. But once you dry up, you're gone.
Yeah. I'm not wanting to ride the wave of what's hot because you're always going to be chasing something. If you ride the wave, you chasing whatever is hot in that moment. And things change so fucking quickly. You can never stay on top or stay at the beginning. I'd rather spearhead my own shit and create my own wave. Like,
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing people go on, I'm not saying we should do it or anything, but go on tours with they podcasts or they talking forums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's become a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who was the first person to like, fuck it, we want taking us on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you aware of it?
I'm aware of that because it's this podcast that I listen to quite often. The Read. Shout out to the Read. Hey. That's my black owned shout out today. But yeah, when they started going on tour, I was so trying to go, but I couldn't make it because I had another engagement to go to that day. But yeah, I was like, this is dope. I like this because, you know, after accumulating like a real fan base, people, you know, they want to mail in, they follow you on social media, that connection, that's building that connection. And I'm always going to prefer in-person, some kind of in-person connection than I am over social media or over some kind of platform. Mm-hmm. So that's a good chance to see your demographic, see your fan base, and really like be out here and party with them and see how they are. So I love that. I think that's dope.
That is. I went this summer to one and I was mad as fuck because there was 2 of them I wanted to go to.
Okay. Same day?
Same day.
Wow.
Same day. It was Tonight's Conversations and then we had sex. It was a husband and wife thing.
Okay.
The wife is funny as fuck. I mean, they're both. That's funny. They're both. I wouldn't say both educational, but educational. Yeah. But I enjoy that. And when they're like, "Oh, we going on tour," I'm like, "Shit, I want to see something like that."
Yeah.
And that was taking yourself out the internet, out the matrix, where people can't control it, and you create your own avenue. It's like the music industry had to fucking reconform to everything because like, whoa, these motherfuckers is getting on the billboards and they're not on one of our labels. You know, Live Nation and Technicolor run the fucking music industry. But you getting over beyond them? Like, how you do that? Technicolor produces all the radio play, and you got Live Nation does all the concerts. So when you step out of that and do your own thing, like, fuck it, I just rented a big ass hall out. I'm doing my shows here. It's a dude named LaRussell.
LaRussell, shots out, okay?
So just his mindset alone, like before I even listen to his music, just how he was doing business, I'm listening to him. So like he got an honorary AOG shirt off bail if I ever meet him. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of stuff I'm doing. Incorporate me. It was just amazing to where he's doing all this stuff on his own. Yeah. But yet still using social media to a certain extent. Yeah. But him and his whole family good. Open up restaurants, print shops. He's doing his music. He's selling the same CD for $3, and then somebody will buy that same CD for $1,000 just because they want to give him the money. Yeah.
That's real support right there, and I love it.
And then you buy a stake in each album that you buy, and you get a pro. It mind blowing. Somebody help protect them at all costs.
Yeah, because the music industry's sick. They don't want the artists doing that shit. It's gonna crumble, baby. These labels.
And Danny's on the internet telling people
how to do it. Yes.
And break it down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yep. Shout out Larissa.
With every cheat code, someone's always gonna come out and try to block or create a new system around that. Hey, or else might stop talking about this thing. Like, if you wanna, more information, buy this
paywall.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna be a thing. Paywalls are starting to be a thing.
Yeah. They had me fucked up on the paywalls when I looked at a news article and they're like, you gotta subscribe and pay. I said, not for the news. You got me fucked up. Not the Weather Channel charging for a premium weather so you can get a 10-day forecast. Like, no, that's okay. I'll know what 5 days look like. I don't need to know about the 10. I'm straight. I'm not paying for that shit. The fuck? Y'all are wildin'. Anything for money.
It'd be some dope ass articles about Detroit W. When the finish ring, like,
I know. I guess I'll never know.
You know what? I'll just go buy the newspaper. It's cheaper than that fucking article.
Okay, but what I do love about Twitter, not all heroes wear capes. Because somebody be in that comments like, so this was the article, y'all. I'm like, my nigga, thank you for looking out. Okay, save the day, why don't you?
I've done it before, but I wonder what else when somebody else said to buy something and then take it and give it up for free. But then niggas with all like the old bootleg tapes and shit like that.
It's always gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's always gonna happen.
It's always gonna happen though.
And I know people gotta make money. This is the system we live in. This is capitalism. We all gotta make a living. We all gotta. If you got employees, you got payroll to pay, all that stuff. I'm for sustaining businesses and whatnot. But what I'm not going to do is rob Peter to pay Paul. Because Peter barely got money to survive in the first damn place. And I'm Peter. So, the fuck? Like, stop charging me to try and read news. It's not going to happen. I will do my own due diligence to figure out what happened. And if I cannot, guess I don't need to know. That's going to be that. Weather, same thing. Y'all over here manipulating the weather anyway, so I'm not gonna get on that.
Conspiracy theories.
It's more than that.
Season 2.
Okay, because woo, shit.
Internet, kids. Okay, so my oldest kid is 15. Yeah, it is. Seen other girls dancing in bra and shit. I seen a video. Flew upstairs. I think I went through the ceiling. What the fuck is that? Well, I'm just in my sports bra. No, I don't. That's not. I don't give a fuck. Because I don't think fear of a dad and his kid dancing like it's just the whole shimmy hip shit. Okay, cool. But it's like every dad feels like I don't want my daughter to be out. And it's like I'm trying telling kids like, yeah, your friends on there. But then there's also other people on there that look at you like you're a grown ass woman, so you don't want that.
Interest in her, yeah.
And then you don't know what images or information you may be putting out, like, oh, I live in Detroit, or you name a school, and they don't whatever, just following you, tracking you, and then your ass abducted. So that's the scary part about the kids. Like, don't give out where you live at. Don't say places and landmarks. Don't do that.
And never share your location or take a picture of your location while you're there. Wait till you leave.
Yeah.
If you're like at a restaurant.
Share that shit like 2 days later.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers like, damn, they always out. No, it's always 2 days later.
That part. Okay, yeah.
I learned that. I used to be a very person like in the moment type thing. But then, I had an ex stalking me and shit. And I was like, oh, I gotta stop doing this.
Damn.
And another person I was dating, like, no, I post my stuff a day or two later. I'm like, what? And they enlightened me. Because you can always learn information from other people, whether in person or on the internet, on how to conduct yourself.
Yeah.
There's internet etiquette.
Yeah. I had to learn the hard way about that updating location too, because I had an ex break into my house while I was gone downtown at the Riverwalk, just posting pictures like, "Hey, we at the Riverwalk," and yeah, came home like I didn't leave my light on. When I'm pulling up, I'm like, I didn't leave my light on. The fuck, like, something ain't right. Then I'm like, I sat in my car for a good 20 minutes because something didn't feel right in my soul, and I'm like, Went in the house, I had a whole bunch of shit missing. Yeah, it was all bad. Yeah, but I learned from that point on, like, nah, we not doing that no more. You're not telling your location, because even if he didn't know you, like, niggas will hit a lick when they see the opportunity. Yeah. So I'm not about to, hell no. Mm-hmm. And my daddy taught me better than that when I was a kid. So I don't know why I thought it was okay to do it now, because social media is something different. It's not.
It's not.
It's just everything is on speed in social media.
I seen a video of a dude making a joke. So one house had a 70-inch TV. Like, this guy is showing off his TV and everything. He got a 70-inch. And he scrolls over and then shows the box that he threw away. He got a 75-inch TV. Ha ha. But the comment, I immediately went to go to the comments like, I know who to rob. And because I was taught, when you get a new TV or anything like that, you burn that box.
Yeah, you don't burn that box outside.
Rip that motherfucker up. You know,
yeah.
Throw it away at night or barbecue that motherfucker. You know, you don't let nobody see you do that. And then if you move it into a new house, you move at night so they don't see what the fuck you got.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody want to show me. And like, how much are you going to fucking show?
Yeah. And that's one of the points right there. When is enough enough? People overshare and they don't even have personal aspects of their lives anymore. It's like, but then they're mad when people nitpick at their lives or have an opinion on certain shit. It's like, but you put all of that out there for people to speculate on. Mm-hmm. Like, keep things private to yourselves. If you want to cherish it, you might want to keep that shit to yourself.
If you don't give a fuck and you angry, go ahead and blow that shit up. But when we come to asking questions, like, what's the follow-up?
Okay.
If you don't know me, give me. I'm invested.
Yeah.
Because shit, all my shit went on the internet.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So when my shit went on the internet, I had to put my side on the internet, and motherfuckers, they were invested.
Yeah.
That's how my numbers were 10,000.
Damn.
And I'm like, and then Facebook was like, "You want to make money off of this?" I was like, "Yes, I do."
Okay.
What the fuck I do?
Oh shit.
So yeah, I mean, it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. When
you can find strength through your pain, or find revenue in your pain,
okay,
you gotta go for it. But yeah, there's been people that came up and said things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how the fuck can I say this? All right, so my ex physically abused my kids.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. Fucked them up, beat them up. CPS case, all that shit. Mm. I jumped the shit. Mm-hmm. So talking to this girl, fast forward a year and a half later, and I didn't know she followed me. And we were talking, and then things got a little hot and heavy, and then she was like, "Choke me like you did your ex-wife," and I was like, "Oh shit! Oh, what the fuck?" I'm like, "Wait, put the pressure right here." I would grab my like. What is
Oh my god!
If you put out that information, you don't think people are watching or recollect it like that, or get some type of fetish over shit, then
man,
oh my god,
that's interesting.
Embarrassed because that wasn't me. But shit, I was like, wow.
Rightfully so, yeah.
Is this too much?
Oh shit. That's funny. But yeah, and that's another point too. Like, one, you never know who's watching, and why y'all oversharing. Y'all be applying for these jobs and stuff. Y'all think they not looking at your social media? Come on now.
They are.
And with cancel culture, you say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing, baby, Twitter will find where you work, where you live, where your grandma stay at, where your brother, sister, auntie stay at, all that shit, and have it on Twitter, the worldwide of webs, for everybody to see. And they'll send a letter to HR like, do you see the egregious acts that such and such has done? And yada, yada, yada. Here's a video if you didn't know. And get you fired. Whole life fucked up because one bad decision on the internet. And that's why I'm happy we grew up in the age that we did, because I made all my bad decisions off of camera. You ain't gonna catch me on no camera doing no stupid shit. But these kids have a lot of pressure to be perfect. To be perfect.
Yeah. And it got to the point to where my oldest, I'm starting to think she got like fucking personality disorder. Like, seeing the internet, her, and then seeing her with a group of friends and another group of friends, like, who are you?
And that's 15 is a time where you're trying to find your identity. Yeah. That's hard as fuck.
I just don't want it to be like you going into your 20s and mid 20s and 30s and you still doing that. Like,
yeah, and
manic code switching.
It's gonna be some trial and error. It's gonna take a minute. Because, yeah, them 10 years something different. But they have a whole other aspect that we didn't have much of back then. It wasn't so highlighted. Because that's the thing, too, about teens. They're more impressionable, naturally. And you see all these things and phases on the internet. And, you know, you want to learn how to do makeup. You want to be accepted. Because as humans, we are social creatures. Mm-hmm. We need to be accepted. We need to feel that in order to survive and thrive. And so, teens, they're going to do what they want to do, and they're finding themselves, and they're seeing, you know, who they want to be around. They're stating their independence and distancing themselves purposely from their parents and rebelling a little bit and all that stuff. And it's like so many different influences. And it's like, damn, I can only hope that I'm instilling the right mind frame for them in order to go the right way and navigate this, because I know for my daughter, I want to hold her hand every damn where. Like, I want to so bad, but I know I'm not going to be able to do that. And I see that now on YouTube videos. Like, I don't always have my child. She's with family. She's with, you know, family friends and stuff like that. But not everybody has the same filter, and not everybody is watching everything that she's watching or listening to it. So a YouTube video might pop up that I don't want her watching, but she has access to it now. And so she may come home and say some wild shit. And I'm like, where did you hear that from? And then we have to talk about it and break it down. As opposed to here, I'm always listening to what she's watching. So if it's something like, she likes to see like sad stories and real world stories and stuff. And so, but like children will be telling them, or, you know, preteens and stuff like that. So I will come sit next to her. I'll watch it with her. And I will explain it as we go along if that's something she really is interested about. And I have that time to intervene or stop it. Like, oh, no, I hear a bad word, turn it off. And she'll be like, I know, mommy, and she'll turn it off. And then she's logged into my account, my premium account. So I'm watching her history while she gone, too. Like, And if I need to reach out to somebody like, hey, yo, tell her to turn that shit off, then I will. Because, yeah, but also I have a life, so I can't do that all the time. Yeah. You know, so it's a hard balance to have, because
but that's she's a good 5. Thing. Yeah, it's a good thing that, all right, internet, scary place, but we got these parental controls too. So I don't want everybody like running to be, oh, internet evil, because that's not what we're trying to do. Because as a parent, you have a lot more control over internet, what they see, how the tablet operate or how their phone operate. You can put them on your phone plan and parental guide. I've done it. Right? Just recently took my kid off of it. Okay. To just like, whatever, you know, because some shit just didn't work. Like, yeah. It was like, no, you should be able to watch it. You should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I took it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna be like, oh, this video made X, Y, and Z. But sometimes it's kids out there that's their age talking on them things, and they get to saying some shit I don't really rock with.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like your parents trying to control you is against your some shit like that. And they're like, you're stepping on my civil right. I'll beat the fuck up. So, but like, no, I'm feeding you, I'm clothing you, I'm doing all this stuff. CPS said, you just gotta have bed, clothes, and a house.
Lord
so
have mercy.
you ain't gotta get what the fuck you want at all. That was my part.
Yeah.
So take your monkey ass upstairs in your room. So you still gotta be the parent. A lot of people like, oh, you gotta talk to him. You gotta get down to the level. And I'm like, I get down to the level. We raw. I'm getting in tackle positions.
I'm not about to do it.
My girl's beefy, bro. My girls want to throw hands. If I get down to our level, they like, oh, let's go.
And I am one of the gentle parenters. So like I said, I only have the one. So for everybody out there, my baby is a sensitive soul. And I used to be an early Head Start teacher. Psychology is my background, like through and through. So child development is something I spent a lot of time on. And so gentle parenting, it's harder. I would say it's harder to gentle parent than to be a conventional parent, because you have to find all these workarounds and that accommodate them and their mindset, and you try not to traumatize them, and you just want to.
My oldest is traumatized. My youngest, I wish she was the oldest, if that makes sense.
To lead the way, like.
And I hate to be like, oh, favorite, but like, you're making it easy.
You know what?
Shout out to her. She's a volleyball captain. She's 11.
Okay.
So I'm like, right, bet. She's in 6th grade, and she's the captain. So you got 8th graders on there and everything.
Hey,
anyway,
shout out.
But she's always staying active, always doing something. And with her dealing with social media, it's like, hey, I don't like that. She was like, can you tell me why? I'm like, because X, Y, and Z. It's like, oh, all right. Can I private the video? Yeah, private the video.
Yes.
And she privates the video to where she can still share it with her friends, but they can't share it outsourced. And I'm like, I don't like the way you do business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And other one is like, I should not do what I want. Like, oh, no, that's not. You shouldn't be able to do what you want to do. You're like, it shouldn't be perverts in this world, but there are.
Yes.
There are.
And that's a whole conversation, because I am one of the people who, as a woman, I don't like being filtered to accommodate other people. And that is a really strong point for me. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, because I told you before, but I was a problem child. I was a rebel. I'm not going to say I was a problem child, but I was a rebel in my teenage years. Baby, you couldn't tell me shit, okay? Nothing, not a goddamn thing, because I knew everything. I knew everything. And so it's like OGs are trying to tell me, you got the OGs trying to spit game and everything and tell you the tea of the world. And you be like, okay, I hear you. And then like 28, 29 years old, I'm like, damn, that shit makes sense. I wish I would have listened, because I would have saved 2 years of heartache and trials and tribulations and suspended licenses and court cases and shit like that. Like,
no doubt. This is a court case. And somebody is right there like, who the fuck am I watching? They go uplifting and talking about boxing kids and court cases. Who the fuck am I watching?
Okay. Listen, I'm a life and wellness coach, because I done been through life. And
well, this is it.
I found that wellness keeps me mentally sane, okay? Because, yeah, so I get the rebel and all that stuff, the rebellion and there shouldn't be perverts in the world and all that stuff like that. I have never been the one to place myself on the internet like that, just because of my moral compass and the way, like, I navigate.
We take it back in the day. Girls used to dress like hoes in high school. And
Listen, let's talk about it because low-rise jeans and thongs was a thing.
Yeah.
Crop tops was a thing. Like, you look at Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, that type of ordeal. Like, that was the vibe then. Christina Aguilera. Like, you had people like that, and that's how you drew. That was the fashion. So, it's like, okay, we wore that, and thank God I've never had an instance where I was assaulted or anything like that, but I did for anonymous purposes. I had someone that was within my close proximity who was like that, who tried to make passes, and I had to threaten that person several times. And I made sure I kept my distance and had safety measures in place. But besides that, you know, I don't think a lot of people tried me because I was a little crazier back then. So, and I made that known. So, you know, people tend to prey on the weaker ones, and I did not identify as the weaker one. And I don't mean to say like people who were victimized in any way are weak, but it's the person's perception on what their odds of survivability or whatever it may be when, like, the predator.
The person-to-person perception is reality.
Yeah, exactly. So that person's perception is reality, and they're going to take their chances based on what they feel their reality and their chances and odds are going to be. I'm not saying that's right. That's just the way that it typically is. So, luckily, I was blessed enough not to have that experience.
But you've probably heard or know somebody that, oh shit, blah, 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 blah. I get it. Everybody should be able to do what the fuck they want. But I try to tell my kids, yeah, you should, but this is a reality. You have to be aware of this reality. You can't shun it out because you don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, the algorithm does that on the internet for us. You don't like it, we're never show you this shit again.
Yeah, that ain't how real life works at all.
And that's the fucked up perception that I don't want my kids to get. Is it's always a yes. Everything's always pleasant. You get what you want in the moment. If you want to be sad, we're gonna show you a bunch of sad shit. If you want to be happy, we're gonna show you a bunch of man. I'm doing the research for our last one, the marriage episode. Just going over, getting, hearing people talk about marriage, because I'm like, damn, I haven't thought about this in a minute. And listening, it's like, oh, then my algorithm changed. I'm like, damn, where big booty bitches go?
You know.
People getting married, I'm getting choked up by poems and shit.
You know what?
Fuck. I love love. I love love.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, my algorithm full of personal development. No. It's personal development, makeup and hair videos, and conspiracy theories and witch shit.
I think my algorithm is a bunch of martial arts, self-growth, self-healing, big booty business. Put that sprinkle in there a little bit. I try to unlike some shit too, like just like no, I got too much of this going on.
At least you're mindful of that.
It's more so fit people, like people being fit, because like I want to get fit. I want this to be subconscious on my shit, but everybody that's fit tend to be women. I'm like, I'm not following no man.
You know what, Petty?
It's like if I want to get fit and be around people fit like this, I gotta get fit. So that was my train of thought. But me knowing this algorithm, these kids don't know this algorithm.
Yeah, they just think that's the world.
Yeah. It'd be mind blowing when two kids that don't like the same shit end up being in the same room and they like watching each other's like YouTube or TikTok, and it's like, oh, that ain't on mine. And I seen this video of a guy like wondering why Trump supporters had this twisted view on things, and the guy was like, "Fuck this." He went and made a new internet, email, made a YouTube, and started liking that type of shit, and he's seen the different algorithms.
Yes.
And he started having conversations with those people and getting in a room with them just to convey converse with them and have information. The worst people to be around is the blindfolded person. Like, Show me the facts. I'm like, all right, take the blindfold off. No, show me the facts. You gotta take the blindfold off. They're right here.
Mm-hmm.
Show me the facts. Take the fucking blindfold off. No, if you can't show me, then you know.
Right.
I'm like, but that person that would sit down, listen here, and that's my daughter and my youngest daughter. It's like one want to hear it, one will hear it and listen and change because like she'd get hurt by me being disappointed.
Mm.
This one want a box.
Not want a box.
So I was like, but yeah, it's how you go about doing this, and you have to think. And if you just let it take over you or take over your kids, you're gonna be fucked.
And that's the thing. I think they should start adding social media etiquette as a curriculum in schools, because it's wild what they can be exposed to so quickly. And it's like one wrong click and shit can go left real quick. And I'm doing my due diligence as a parent, and I'm gonna tell them.
That's not how the internet works nowadays. That's not. The internet, the AOL, yeah, one wrong click.
Oh yeah, with the pop-ups and shit like that. Yeah,
but when Google, I'm gonna blame Google for this. When Google took over the internet and started being on everybody's server and everything you pick up, it's tailored. You know, when they say the dark web, whatever, no, that's the internet where you grew up on.
No, the dark web exists though.
That's the shit that we grew up on. Oh. That's what I feel like, because when my friend, he had the dark web, I'm like, so the shit we used to, Rotten.com. It was I'm like, all this.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Okay.
I
just it's like, yeah.
But it's shit on the dark web. I went way deep, and I was like, oh, I need to get the fuck out of here. I damn near threw my computer away. Like, I don't want none of that shit.
I mean,
like,
you can get money, everybody. Mac and Buick. That's the dark web.
Yes, okay. Everything.
The internet was a real place.
Very. You got the legal storefront. Everything else.
but I felt like that was the real internet, and what the fuck is it? Dick Cheney's wife started the whole curation of a good internet. You can get some of that shit, but it's not gonna be the first shit you see. We gonna tailor this shit for y'all. And yeah, I think the dark web is the actual internet we used to use.
Wow,
that's my little theory on, because man, you typing the wrong couple of letters, it's a wrap.
Well, yeah, because the first decapitation video I've seen was on Facebook. And that was before Facebook started the whole curate. Now you can't even say fuck on Facebook before they start putting you in jail and blocking you and shit like that. I'm like, damn.
They started getting him to FCK.
Damn. They're like, nope, none of that.
Too close.
So yeah, it's this social media thing, and I think there should be tiers, because obviously, like when I was in middle school, they taught us how to use Google, how to use search things. How do you get works cited? What to see as a reliable source as opposed to not being a reliable source, and all of that stuff. I don't know if they still do that in school, because I'm so far removed. However, I think they should do that with etiquette as well. Like, okay, this is social media. We told you the academic portion, but there is still a portion that could alter the whole trajectory of your life, because once you put something on the internet, it's there. You don't know who the fuck downloads shit.
School don't want to teach these kids that shit.
Well, for their reputation, for a school's reputation, because there's some shit that go viral, and they be like, the school should have did that. Yeah, they did.
You know what? You're right. That makes sense. A friend of mine is he's a computer analyst technician at a school, Burbs, like downriver and shit. And he was telling me the story that he had to come back and tell a superintendent that an 8-year-old third grader had took control over all the Chromebooks and is showing pictures of her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's like, this shit is on my lap. I gotta get this shit the fuck off. But yeah, this is what's going on. And then it's linked to this girl's IP. And that was a whole investigation.
And that's sad. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine. Like, and then having to explain that to your innocent child because it's on the school computer. Like, your child may not even know what the fuck. And
when they had the conversation with the girl, she was hardened about it.
Yeah, I bet. Some kids are exposed to way more than they need to be.
Yeah. So it's, you gotta do your shit as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can't just let built-in babysitter system, school system take it.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, it takes a village, and it starts at home.
But I understand that. Yeah, but every village has an idiot.
Damn, that's true.
And I think that's a lot of times why people won't work together as families and PTAs and stuff. Like us as black people need to start getting invested in the school system, doing PTAs, regardless if like, oh, I work afternoons or I work midnights. Okay, there's internet that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
Those networking things with other parents.
Mm-hmm.
The PTA is on fucking Facebook. They got their website. They got their group me chats. They got all that.
Mm-hmm.
You can be involved
Yeah.
without being present half the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching the volleyball game from work while their mother is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's being broadcasted through the group me chat.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, shit.
Yeah.
So it's ways to be involved and be aware of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
It's just how invested are you?
Exactly.
And if you don't know the internet, get the fuck knowing.
Yeah. And that's one thing too. I will say this isn't an excuse at all, but I know a lot of parents have been suffering lately, especially after the pandemic. Like that whole thing was rough on a lot of people. And so I've seen firsthand a lot of kids suffer from that. And parents haven't been able to rebound from that. And thus kids haven't been able to rebound from it. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of acting out and seeking help from wherever they could get it. And if the internet is it, then the internet is it. And parents aren't really involved because they trying to keep themselves afloat and they head over water. And it's like somebody needs to come rescue or help or lend some assistance or something. Like, but also as an adult, I am the type of person, this is my personal mind frame, not saying trying to push this on other people, but I'm a no excuses type of person because you have to take accountability for yourself after a certain age. You can't just blame, oh, I grew up like this, You literally have the internet and everything you need right here in your pocket, in your hand, wherever, your phone is. And you can seek out, where can I get therapy? Free therapy for Medicaid, free therapy for name insurance here.
And we're not even gonna say free. There's $25 therapy.
Yeah. And there are ways to accommodate, and there are therapy scholarships and all types of stuff, and just to get you in the door, just to get you started. Therapy is not coaching, but if you do need a life coach, hey, plug myself.
That's one thing just besides your plug is life coaching isn't therapy, but so I got a friend. Mm-hmm. He just got his master's degree and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But he's somewhat like the group therapist, right? Yeah. And I don't want to be putting my burdens on him. Mm-hmm. But I would seek therapy elsewhere. But I kept telling him I fired him. Because every time I went to somebody, I wanted him to tell me I was the bad guy. But till he was like, you're gonna shop around for a therapist. Yeah. So if you go to one and you like, I don't like the way they talk or the way they listen or the way this, the way that, get rid of them. Go to the next one.
That is a fact.
You're not finding somebody that's going to cater to what you want to hear, even though I wanted them to tell me I ain't shit. But it was like, look, you ain't shit because you don't believe you shit. Mm-hmm. And I want to tell you, everything you've told me, you've told both sides of the story. You didn't worry about tailoring the story to make you like a good guy. You went through some traumatic shit. Mm-hmm. Now you just got to not be fucked up about it. Yeah. Or as fucked up about it. Mm-hmm. And having a real conversation with a therapist that can relate, that can talk to you, that can help you guide your way through this. Because they're not fixing you. You're fixing yourself. You're just talking it out. That part. And it took a minute. And I found somebody who was thick as thieves. Like, she took a little hiatus on me, though. I was kind of ghosted. I ain't like that shit. I did some ghosting. I felt like I was going through a breakup. Like, I need to talk.
Oh my goodness.
But just on that therapy thing, I wanted to say this in the last one was talking to a woman, and she's like, man, therapy. I'm like, I go to therapy every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept talking to therapy and like projecting onto all the males. And I'm like, when was the last time you went to therapy?
Mm.
And she was like, February. I'm like, it's September.
Mm.
I think you need to go back. Yeah, because I go every Monday. I don't like using the internet for it. I'm like, well, that's so fucking what? Use the internet for everything else. Talk to broadcast your bullshit. You talk to them about your bullshit. And yeah, it's like you don't even have to physically be in a room with somebody. You don't even have to look at them.
Exactly. You can do a phone call.
There's therapists that will let you smoke a blunt while you talk.
Yeah. And
there's therapists that let you have a glass of wine and y'all just you talk about it. But these kids will drive you fucking crazy. You can use the internet to get away from them. And hey, I don't know. The floor is yours.
I think since you said that, I also would like to bring up how people use the internet as a form of escapism from real life, because they're very unhappy with real life. And with that, I would urge you to double back to therapist to go see one, because life isn't, you can't escape unhappiness until you work on yourself. So utilize all these resources that you have. This is an age we have so many millionaires in this age, in this time. We have so many people who are waking up and realizing like true history and true present events and who they really are and how to get in nature and getting into herbalism and all this stuff. And they're finding their way because of the internet. There's so much good that came from the internet. And that's why I was trying to be balanced with the bad and the good, because yeah, there is bad for sure, but there's this good side, and you can utilize that and use those resources and become better. And when you're better, you can help everybody else around you. But you can't help people, you can't do shit when you bad and out in the dumps. That's all you doing is spreading negativity. So be your best and find the resources that you need to become that best version of yourself and find that happiness, because it's only within you. You can't outsource for happiness. Nah, it don't work like that.
Right, life shit, the internet shit, but you know what grows from shit? It's manure. You can grow flower. You can grow from that shit.
Yeah, for sure. So with that being said, is there anything else you'd like to highlight about? I'm gonna look at my notes because I always keep the notes. So the exploitation of people for money. Because what I see a lot, speaking of children,
everybody's gonna exploit
to an extent. But what I see, it's been a lot of conversations that I've been having with people about how children are being forced to, do a jig per se for the internet, for money. And it's like, okay, it could start off as something cute and adorable and all that stuff. Y'all go viral, cool. But at what point is it becoming forced? Because this has become your main source of income. And the history of like child stars who are unhappy.
I'll be the asshole right now. Go ahead, I'll be the asshole.
Okay. The history of child stars who are unhappy and who have had all this trauma because their parents are like forcing them to live out their dream, right? And they just want to be a kid again. It's too much responsibility for a child. A child is a child for a reason. And they're still getting to learn the world and all that stuff. So forcing them to have a job and to do all these routine things besides what they already have to manage with school and homework and becoming themselves, that's too much for a child. You should not be making them do something that they don't want to do, as far as like social media and all that stuff. And it also gives them a skewed importance that what their parents and what other people want is more important than what they want. And they lose self-autonomy and self-trust and self-love, and their esteem gets low because the parent is like, make all these people happy. I don't give a fuck about you. Just do it. Like, And it's really sad. So I don't think people should be monetized off children being on the internet like that.
Children don't be monetized of Facebook. No.
Oh, Facebook. Okay.
I know.
Thought you was gonna
say
say
Facebook, off TikTok, they don't get monetized. They have to be 18 to be monetized.
TikTok, I've seen parent-kid duos and they're monetized.
The parent is.
Yeah, but it's based off the popularity of the kid. Yeah.
Joe Jackson beat his kids into fucking superstar. So they were a template right there. You got Michael Jackson, you got Latoya, you got Janet. Yeah. So you got Macaulay Culkin. So his fault. I'll get it. The child stars. Shit. What do you think? What do you think? These gymnasts just like, oh, in high school I just decided to do some fucking flips. No, they was getting their ass beaten, twisted, and turned and bent, dragged to each damn Olympian thing.
I don't think all of them. And
you don't think all of them?
No, not at all.
You don't think our superhero gymnasts that get disqualified for being too good ain't been busting her ass? Her parents ain't been on her the whole time to do all this shit?
I think there's a level of, you said you were committed to this, we've gone this far, all that stuff like that. But sitting up there making it mandatory, I think there were choices there. But they still had some kind of autonomy over the situation. Like, okay, if this is not what you want to do, we gonna call all this shit quits. Like, I'm not about to keep investing this time, effort, energy, money, all that stuff. Look at what's on the floor here. But, and also, those are older child stars, and so they have more awareness about what's going on. But to put the pressure on single digit kids to sit up here and make videos and all that stuff like that, and even double digits, I don't like that either. But
it's always been the same thing. Look, the internet ain't nothing but Walmart.
And and I'm saying all of it's wrong. Yeah. And I know it's been going on and all that stuff. That's why I brought up the past child stars. Mary-Kate and Ashley, they fucked up. They were fucked up. The Jacksons fucked up. Macaulay Culkin fucked up. Yeah. Jeanette McCurdy, she got a book called I'm Happy My Mother Died.
Damn.
Because her mom made her become a child star. And she didn't know, all she wanted to do was please her mama. And she didn't know until she was older and went to therapy and had to realize, wow, after her mama died, and now she's happy and free and she doesn't want to act anymore. Shit like that. These people are fucked up and got so much to heal from, if they ever do heal from it. Why would you expose your kids to that?
Give them the option. If they want to do it, they want to do it.
That's the most important part.
You can't force them.
Yeah.
You can force them.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's just going to show through your video.
Not always.
Kids play good enough. Their goal is to make their little boy or their little daughter rich as... What the fuck is this kid's name? He's everywhere. He's all... Ryan, yeah.
Ryan's World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want their kid to be Ryan.
Yeah.
And, hey, I don't know what... They want their meal ticket, whether it's going to be right for their kid. People will do some egregious shit for their kids.
For the dollar.
On the internet, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my little 2 cents.
My whole thing is, my suggestion with that is demonetize the ones with the kids. I get Ryan's World, they done built an empire, they done got on syndication and all that stuff and whatever. I get that. However, don't monetize them on a social media platform. Lele, it's this girl.
The rapper?
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow her.
I love Lele. That's my girl. So, because I used to watch her freestyle and stuff. Yeah. And then she got on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Bet you on Nickelodeon. Now you can utilize those talents. You signed something. You're on a station. But in the meantime, that was just her trying to gain traction. And that was her doing something that she loved. As opposed to Jessica, I love you too. I don't know her personally, but I do love her. She had, she made these videos talking about her baby daddy and how she can't stand him, whatever. Mm-hmm. And her kid would be in there a lot, her daughter. And it came to the point where recently, last year in 2022, she had to say, my kid would not be in anymore because she has anxiety attacks. She doesn't want to do this. She fights depression. yada yada. And I've been trying to figure out how we're gonna make our income from like other ways, but this is too much on her, and I gotta back out. And I give her all the accolades and respect for putting that out there and being transparent enough with that, and for realizing that her daughter needed to stop. And so I would like people to be mindful and aware of that before it even gets to that point, to where they don't have to exploit these children. These kids go through enough these days, like for real. And so I'm all pro babies, pro kids. Like, make sure they're healthy and their mindset is healthy, because you start them young. This is the next generation of kids. These are the ones that's going to be taking care of us if we become like incapacitated in some capacity, or when we old and maybe a little decrepit, whatever, so we want to make sure that they have the right mind frame and that they can sustain themselves and thrive. So don't fuck them up young. Don't fuck them up at all, preferably, but we all go through trauma, so try not to fuck them up that much.
I mean, I didn't use the tools we were given as parents, so don't judge yourself too roughly, but read the room.
Yeah, and that's why I said, again, accountability and personal growth. You can only be as good as you are. You can only teach as good as you know. So just grow. That's self-work. That's shadow work. Please and thank you. Love y'all. So with that said, do you have anything to wrap up, or anybody to shout out, any businesses? We didn't do this last episode. I forgot.
We didn't?
No.
I swear we did.
I know, right?
I'm just going to double back on Everybody Eats Catering, Justin English, Peanut Medicals. Check them out. Peanut Medicals on Instagram. Fire chef and a damn good grower for medical cannabis.
Hey, okay. All right, so I did my shout out earlier. Y'all saw it. And then I'm going to shout out myself, because I already said life and wellness coaching. So I'm going to plug myself. If you need any coaching, or if you just want to see what coaching is about, if you're curious in any capacity, you can reach out to me. And if we don't mesh, just like therapy, and you shop around, you can shop around for coaches. And I have a whole list of coaches. So you don't have to come to me. I just want you to be better. So, like, find your avenue. I can give you recommendations, all that stuff. Or if we work based on a consultation, we can go ahead and keep it moving. But, yeah, growth, elevation. That's all I got.
Oh, it's in the time of this video, it's tax season. Hit her up for taxes. She's doing them.
Oh, yeah, I do taxes too, y'all. Mm-hmm. All right.
But AOG, Lion Gifts.
Ciao. Be safe. Be abundant. And think of 5 things y'all grateful for. If you know me and if you know me, you know I say this all the time. But think of 5 things you're grateful for. Gratitude to change your life. It truly will.